Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Miraculous Ladybug, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And April Collins.
Hi there.
Ladybug again. It's second day in a row. I think this is the first time ever we've done 2 days of Ladybug in a row. But
we're doing like 3 this week. It never airs.
Yeah.
And then it won't be on for 5 more months. But today we have been blessed with Feast, which aired tonight in Canada. We're talking about the English dub of Feast, which was a shockingly huge lore episode of the show, considering it was named Feast. But yeah, make sure you've seen this.
It was a feast of knowledge.
A feast of knowledge and information we've gleaned.
How far can Delaney reach in this podcast?
Feast, yeah. Well, Hawkmoth didn't have enough food puns in this episode.
So my god, the last 30 seconds are like so painful.
Oh, we're going to recite every one of them.
No.
Yeah, so make sure you've seen Feast. Come back and listen to this podcast. Also, check out our Star Train podcast yesterday and all previous Ladybug podcasts at overlyanimated.com. Search Overly Animated Ladybug on your podcast app or youtube.com/overlyanimated. Subscribe to us there now in this future Ladybug. Let's get right into Feast here. Delaney, what were your reactions watching Feast?
I am shooketh. I was just like, oh my god, the whole time. Like, there's just so much going on in this episode, and it's good. Like, okay, we started covering this show, and I was like, this is adorable. It's a terrible show, but I love it. And then this week, I mean, we've had some plot development, over the long, long years of covering Ladybug, and now it's like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm, gonna die. I can't believe that our little show is growing up, and there's content. What? So, I really like this episode, and a lot of things just kind of come to a head in this. This is really, I don't even mean just for this season, I mean for the series, with Master Fu, and we really, we knew things, and they had talked about things before in a very vague sense, but then we, literally actually saw the mountains, and, where the temple is, and Master Fu, actually said what happened. And it was just great. Everything in this episode is just great. And then we have some, of course, ridiculous moments because for whatever inexplicable reason, Adrian has to wear a banana suit.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed this episode. It's just, I don't know if I'm going to, put it up in, my top. Because I don't, this is a great episode. I think it is. It works really well. And there's a lot of, it's almost too weird to to consider it for ranking. I mean, it's definitely an episode. I know. Okay.
Sam.
I liked it. Lots of stuff happens, and yeah.
Okay. We'll get more of Delaney's thoughts as we go.
They climbed inside of him, and there were bubbles like Steven Universe. What?
And there's also the TARDIS, yeah.
Yeah, it was also the TARDIS. I didn't miss that.
It's
Don't worry.
Yeah,
I didn't miss that. Don't
of course
worry.
not. I was very blatant.
I literally make a Doctor Who reference every podcast. Don't worry.
No, the show did it for us. That's good.
Yeah, they did. They did it for me.
Yeah.
And Adrian said it, and I was like, do you watch Doctor Who, Adrian?
Yeah. Well, yesterday we were in London with the Big Ben, and this time we have a Doctor Who reference. So
it's real.
Is it Paris or is it England? I'm not sure.
It's confusing.
Yeah,
we're getting mixed signals.
I think we need the Eiffel Tower back to help us with that.
Did we see the Eiffel Tower? It didn't eat the Eiffel Tower. What the heck?
It was
didn't eat the Eiffel
in
Tower,
the background,
but it was there.
It's very far in the background. I feel like, but we the Louvre. The Louvre is the Eiffel Tower light.
You're right. Okay,
it tells us
right.
that it's Paris, but not so obvious that by sticking the Eiffel Tower.
And we were in the Louvre for literally half the episode.
Yeah, so
yes.
I think it counts.
Okay, I accept.
Okay, April, what did you think of Feast?
First off, I think this is the most calm that Delaney has ever given her opinions about an episode before.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I felt like I was yelling the whole time. Am I usually louder?
Yes.
Wow. I don't know if I should be offended or not. I'll let you know.
It's a compliment.
I feel like I need to tread carefully now, but I'm just kidding. I love you, Delaney. I liked this episode. This episode was a lot. So much was given to us, so much backstory and mythology, and I have so many ideas and feelings running around inside of my head. I think it was still like put together pretty well, given the vast amount of like information that was kind of thrown at us. And I enjoyed it. I don't think I would also put it in like one of my top episodes, but like Delaney said, our little show has grown up. And I was, as she was talking about that, I was thinking about how like Dylan, you were like, April, you have to watch this show. And I was like, I don't know. And then like I watched the entire first season and I wrote you like an essay about like how terrible this show was. And I was like, but I'm really excited to continue watching.
No, it was very exciting to have someone join us in the insanity that was me and Dylan, like covering this stupid show that no one cares about, and me and Dylan are like, "Oh my god, Ladybug!"
Yeah, I guess we're reflecting on this. Yeah, April. First of all, I had to like seek out another person for this because
Dylan literally was like recruiting. It was like, someone please.
And you would ask me like several times. You're like, April, you need to watch Ladybug. Like I think like every time I talk to you, you're like, "Ooh, April, you need to watch Ladybug," and I'm like, leave me alone about Ladybug. And then I like caved one week.
And you wrote an essay saying how much you thought it was bad, but also you were very excited about it, which I think is fair for the show. But
right.
But now it's great, though, right? Now it's that's the point. Now it's came so far.
Yeah, so I'm just really excited, like, to have like, because like the show is super goofy and everything, but also like episodes like this where they just sort of like dump information on you, they do it so well, and like I'm like less angry at like the extremely goofy episodes. Not that I'm ever angry at the goofy episodes because I love them. And we still had goofy.
Well, this is like tame goofy.
Yeah, this is like tame goofy.
I say as they climbed inside of a Senti monster, but like it's like we literally had a train in space, and then this, and even though there was a banana costume, it was like, this is fine.
Yeah, right.
In comparison to what we've had before.
This and yesterday are basically the spectrum of Ladybug episodes.
Basically,
like, the show is capable of a silencer and a star train, and then it's also capable of a feast, a ladybug, a backwarder. We those are kind of the two sides of the Ladybug spectrum. Feast was really good. This is a really exciting episode. I think people are like, wow, this is a great episode. So I'm interested that you guys weren't like it's a top 10. Like I agree though. Star Train was better. Like I think I think the show is.
Yeah, I think Star Train is like, and I'm not saying it's significantly better because this episode was bad. I think it's significantly better just because Star Train is so good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's significantly better. I think they're both good, but Star Train is just like the show's better at that type of episode. I do think like a lot of people are very high on the episode Ladybug. I think that episode struggled a little bit, but it's exciting content. Like I think this is better. I think this episode succeeded more than the episode Ladybug as like a television episode. I think there's like better stuff here.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
This episode's more grounded.
Mm-hmm. Ladybug's just very fast all over the place. This episode is well executed. I think there's like so the good things. A lot of great backstory here. We learn what Master Fu's mistake is. That's kind of like been a big mystery in the show. We have a lot of like really fun moments with Ladybug and Cat. We have really good character moments with everyone. Yeah, even in this like exposition dump type of episode, we have great character moments everywhere.
Okay, maybe I'm changing my mind.
Yeah, okay. Here's the negative. I think the two bad things about this episode are the feast. The Senti monster is very wacky.
Yes.
Me hungry for Miraculous. I think it's.
He was also still scary considering he looked like a Muppet.
That's true. He was still scary. It was kind of a Muppet voice. I feel like he was tonally a little bit out of place. And then the second thing is, I think this episode is the same weak point as Star Train, which is one of the elements of the show maybe struggles with is action sequences. I think like the chase scene is maybe the down point of the episode, even though it's the high dramatically.
I thought it was a well done fight scene.
It was. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's never well executed. And yesterday's fight sequence was also,
but it was just really long.
They're just like long, and they don't cut away, and it's not as interesting for me as other parts of the show.
Well, they also didn't really fight it.
That's true.
I think that's the other thing too, that I think that's where the low point is for me, is that they didn't really fight it. And I mean, all in terms of like defeating the Senti monster, all they really did was like run away from it, get eaten by it, and then like that was it. So it seemed very like undramatic in comparison to like everything else that we got out of the episode.
But it is subversive in terms of the show because we've never had anything like this happen before.
Right. I think that the concept was, the Ladybug and Cat have to fight it without their powers, and then they have to defeat it, even though they have to defeat it non-traditionally. Yeah, it's like
visually, a lot happened during the sequence. Like the chase was really well done. It just went on a little too long, and also it's weird because it's like Master Fu, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
and the chase is focused on Master Fu and his decision and him turning back to Ladybug and Cat. I mean, those
and
are
it's frustrating, which is like it's meant to be frustrating. You're like, just give him the freaking Miraculous.
Yeah,
dude.
It also makes a lot of sense, Master Fu, in this episode. It's like you could have seen his actions here coming. He's obviously been stuck on this mistake he's made for this entire series, and I think everything he does seems very in character. But I mean, those are the negatives. There's still a lot of really exciting things. For reference, I think Backorder's the best version of the plot episode the show's done. But maybe it interweaves a bunch of elements in it, and also I think it is a great action sequence with the backwards Lucky Charm. Anyway, I've talked a lot about Backorder, but
take a shot every time Dylan says backward.
Well, I just love that word, backorder. Such a good word, right? It's a real word, English word.
Shut up.
Chef Feast is great though, and I think like we have so much to discuss here mythology wise. I think that's mostly what we're going to spend our time on. This is a very consequential episode for Ladybug, and also in terms of just like literally like we start this episode with 40 Miraculouses, and then we end this episode with hundreds of them. So that's pretty consequential. I think to start with, I feel like the temple and the Miraculouses and the monks coming back signifies a shift, an intent to shift the show.
And I think they did it really well thematically in that, we've always talked about, I'm sorry, I'm just derailing you, but this, I just want to get this out before I forget about it. So I think this is really an incredible moment in the show, not just for what it signifies, but how they did it. Because we talk about all the time, when she says Miraculous Ladybug, it just resets everything. Like the Lucky Charm just resets. This time when she did it, it changed everything. And so, to me, it was like, whoa. And then, of course, when she did it, I honestly was like, are they going to fall out of the sky? I was waiting for, the Miraculouses to appear. And so then when it's this temple just appeared, and I think, how they did this is just amazing. I really can't get over the thematic of the Lucky Charm did this, and we've been harping on this show, being Miraculous Ladybug just fixed everything, blah 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 blah. But this time, she fixed something that was broken for 200 years.
Yeah, I like that. That's an important point to emphasize. Is this the biggest Miraculous Ladybug we've seen? And I think along with it, back to my point, is that I think this is this signifies an intent to shift where the show is going. We've been wondering whether will the season 3 finale really be that big in that changing the status quo? Because we're season 2 finale will change the status quo. Not really. It introduced Mayor, and we focused a lot on Sentimonsters this season, especially recently. We've just gotten a bunch of Sentimonster episodes in a row. But I think the fact that there's a bunch of Miraculouses now means we're gonna at some point move to a bunch more heroes in a bunch of different places. Maybe it's like what we were talking about. Maybe we'll actually end this plot line we've been doing for 3 seasons with Hawkmoth and Ladybug and Cat, and we will conclude the Hawkmoth making a wish plot line. Basically, I think this episode brings us closer to that point, and I'm even more of the opinion that the season 3 finale will end the Gabriel era, basically.
Well, it's also in this episode, so not only is he give me the Miraculouses, he's when you're done, I will give you my Miraculous.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he also, once again, we've had this a few other episodes, but he wants to make Marinette the Guardian. And this is another big shift in kind of is Marinette being maybe the guardian of the new generation of heroes, a bunch of which come from the Miraculouses that are brought back from her Miraculous Ladybug here. And
of course she I mean, we've been doing this whole season, and that this is kind of where she's been giving out the miraculouses.
That's been kind of like her test throughout,
Right.
is like, I guess, like Master Fu testing and saying, like, does she have, like, can she make the right choice based off the miraculous or the situation to hand it out to appropriate people? So, and I feel like that's kind of like one of the biggest tasks of being a guardian is, ensuring that whoever you hand miraculouses out to, that like they can be trusted and they'll use the powers the way that they're supposed to. Because we obviously know the consequences of people like not using the miraculous how they're supposed to, aka Hawkmoth and Mayura. So.
Yeah.
Right. So this again, in terms of shifting the status quo, I agree. This is a great point that Marinette being the guardian. There's a line at the end of this episode from Master Fu. He says, "I'm not going anywhere until Hawkmoth is defeated. I'll never leave you." Typically, when a character says "I'll never leave you," it means they're going to
leave.
die. They're going to die.
They're going to die.
I would say Master Fu dying in the season 3 finale is very much in play.
Also, he's like 200 years old. Like, let him go.
Literally,
Yeah.
I forgot about that until this
Let him
episode
go.
reminded me. Oh my
too,
god!
I
Well,
also
how is
forgot
he
about
so
this.
old? Okay,
Magic.
magic, but like, is it? Is
Who
it
knows?
magic? Yes.
A good diet, exercise. I mean, did you see him on that bike?
That's true. He's very
It's true.
active, yeah, but he couldn't transform. He cracked his
No.
back. He couldn't do that.
Which was
It
hilarious.
was great,
Like,
yeah.
Like,
And
for
he also
comical-
says, "I'm not going anywhere until Hawkmoth is defeated." So if Hawkmoth's defeated at the end of the season, then he has permission to die.
well, he was
I guess,
talking about,
but-
also,
Has
he's like, I'm
permission.
going to go visit the other guardians. So,
Well, I get that.
and also,
Instead of dying, yeah, maybe he goes, and we see in the illustration at the end of the episode him visiting the Guardians. That has not happened, I guess,
Right.
canonically. But yeah, maybe he goes to visit them. Maybe he gets to be reunited with his boo from Backorder, right? Like,
Yes.
his walks into the
Yeah.
sunset. That's
so he's like, hey guys, so, you know how I messed everything up 200 years ago? So, I gave the miraculouses to these children, and they're doing great. Hi. It's great.
right? Like, are they? The monks are got to be like, how about we coordinate with them? How about we don't just leave the children on their own?
I feel like, wouldn't they also want to seek out Master Fu, like, at this point as well, to be like, hey, yo, so, like, remember how you messed up all those years ago? We're gonna need those miraculouses back. Like,
it's very hard to imagine this episode taking place in the middle of the season, which it's supposed to, and then like a few weeks passing and nothing happening after the temple reappearing. I think that's like a consequence of the fact that we can't do heavy serialization in the show. Like clearly Master Fu's like, oh, eventually I'll go visit. Like, no, he should go now. That makes more
Yeah.
sense. Or they'll contact him. Like, it doesn't make sense that nothing would happen for a few weeks, but like it'll happen just at the end of the season because we can't do it right away.
Also,
I was
we've
gonna ask-
also, I think we hinted at that we're going to travel and that they went to London.
We were supposed to have a Shanghai special.
Yeah, that's what I was
that
thinking,
got
too.
canceled, I think. But
Yeah.
like, completely canceled?
who knows?
Good question.
Or was it
Hey, what
like
about the
one of-
musical?
I think we're also supposed to get a Halloween special. That didn't happen.
What?
We just had a Halloween special like 2 years ago.
Well, we got
Yeah,
that
we really-
little short thingy, remember?
That little short thingy.
Wasn't it like a short little clip
I don't
thing?
know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It wasn't like an actual episode. It was like an animated.
Well, there's a
April.
chibi.
Tootie,
shorts.
yeah, the chibi short. That's
Maybe,
what
okay,
that
maybe
was
there's
the
a
Halloween.
chibi short. Sure. I can't confirm.
If it's
or deny
chibi, it's not real.
that. See Ruby, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, see Ruby.
Same thing.
Prime example.
Yeah, so it's there's so many things that could happen in the finale. Like maybe they won't happen all, and maybe they'll happen some of them over the course of season 4. But like this is a big episode in terms of changing the status quo from a high level. From a specific level, we learn one of the biggest mysteries of the show, which is Master Fu's big mistake. More
It's a
specific,
pretty big mistake.
it's he's also a child.
Yeah.
Right, no, I agree. But like, as far as mistakes go, it was like, oh,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I think it was shocking how little he did wrong and how wrong it went.
Yes, I would
It's like
say so.
really no other monk in training messed up slightly, and then the entire temple
No,
died.
a child has never been hungry ever. Not even
right.
once.
I guess the jump from I'm hungry to I'm going to use the Peacock Miraculous to make something to get me food is a little extreme. But that
Are you telling me there's not a
really...
stupid miraculous that just conjures food? Are you telling me that there's not one?
Right, that's true. That's a good point. Why didn't he just have a miraculous that made food? Also, if only the Tibetan monks had a DoorDash or Uber Eats, then none of this would
I don't
happen.
understand. Like, what are you learning from not eating?
Right. Well, I think the episode uses a commentary against like strict training methods like that. So I guess that's good. But
It's kind of subversive in that, like the typical like monk.
It's subversive. I also think it's a little judgy.
It's a little judgy of other cultures. I would say.
Not the.
There's some commentary here that it's like, ooh, yikes.
Which I'm not super okay with, but it was light enough, I guess, that it's fine. So yeah, the mistake, and then the mistake being that's how we get our current status quo. It illuminates how the peacock and the butterfly miraculous and the grimoire are lost, and then we make the connection of how that's where Gabriel found them in Tibet, and that's why the current state of the order miraculous is as it is. So it fills in all the pieces to get us to the current point where we are in the story, ... except for one, which is why is Emily in a coma, and why is Hawkmoth trying to get the miraculouses?
It's because she summoned a baby.
So this is the exact. This is the setup episode.
I have a theory that coincides with your theory, Dylan.
Okay, April. So we're going to talk about the Adrian is a Centimonster theory now. If you listen to our Ladybug episode, Ladybug podcast, if you have not to hear this theory, but April had not heard it until today. First of all, walk us through your reactions, April.
Okay, so whenever you first started talking about it, I was like, and then you continue talking because it's not like I could interrupt you or anything because I was listening.
I guess.
I mean, I could have, but that doesn't work. Also, I need to just throw this out there that I feel like Ladybug episodes aren't real until I hear them being discussed now, because I was just
you're on most of them discussing them though. So does that count as you hearing them?
Yes.
Okay.
So because I was thinking about it while I was listening to it, because I was doing this on my lunch. I was going to listen to it in the car, but I didn't have enough time and I was fighting traffic. That's besides the point. But anyway, so I started listening to it and I was like, I have to rewatch the Ladybug episode again because I feel like I have no idea what's going on and I don't remember watching this episode at all. And so then I rewatched it and then I was listening to it and I was like, okay, yes, okay. And as you continue talking, I just kept getting more and more excited. And then when Delaney was sold, I was like, me too. And I was like, I have so many feelings. Okay, so yes, I also think Adrian is a Sentimonster, because I do agree that he is way too perfect. This would also explain why he's so socially challenged, if that makes any kind of sense. Yes. Because I mean, he didn't necessarily grow up in a normal atmosphere, and literally when you think about it too, all of a sudden Adrian came on the scene for Gabriel and Emily, and then everyone's just like, oh yeah, Adrian's been here the whole time, and it's like, yeah, but he hasn't though. He's only really been around for a little bit of time, it seems,
Yeah, so you think he might have been created weird? Because one of the things that's uncertain about this theory is was he Sentimonstered as a baby and grew up? You think he might have never been a baby, just created as a
yeah.
That's what I've been thinking. I've been thinking that also.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too is that there's no baby pictures. He doesn't talk about ever being a child, being younger.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
And so that's the other thing that I was thinking about. Okay, and then continuing into that, so we know that this obviously proves that amucks just like Akumas can exist even after the person has detransformed from the miraculous.
So side note, this episode definitely reinforces the logic we were speculating about. So this episode, the fact that Feast could have existed for so long means Adrian could be a Sentimonster existing for so long. Yeah.
Yeah, so my, I guess, partial theory is that, so the Peacock Miraculous was damaged because so initially I thought it was because of what Emily did, but now I think it's because of Master Fu.
Like it came damaged, like when they found it, it was damaged.
Well,
right. So let's explain this. So we knew the Miraculous was damaged. We knew Emily was hurt. We know that Natalie right now is being hurt because the Miraculous is damaged.
It's the same symptoms.
In this episode, Adrian says that Natalie's sick in the same way Emily was sick. So that maybe means that the Miraculous was damaged before Emily ever used it.
Yeah. So I think that the Peacock Miraculous was damaged because Master Fu detransformed, like, with the Amok still out there. Because, I mean, like, the Amok and the Akumas were kind of the same way, but I think, the difference is that, like, the Akumas, like always seem to get, like, I guess, like, de-evilized, or, like, they don't ever, like, hang out for too long. But because the Peacock Miraculous was hanging out with an Amok out there for so long that it became damaged. And that would also, so then when Emily happened upon it, and she started to use it, so it was damaged, so therefore she got injured, and as she continued to use it, and then she used it in the exact same way that, like, Master Fu did, created a Senti monster, and has, like, there's no intentions of bringing it, like, reining it back in. So then I think that even further damaged it, which is, again, why Natalie, like, so much so that, like, what is it? Like, Emily, like, obviously, like, I'm assuming her effect, like, her sickness took longer, and Natalie's is, like, progressing, like, extremely quick.
Well, I think what we were talking about, this kind of goes back to, like, a couple minutes ago. We know it is dangerous to misuse the Miraculouses.
Yeah.
And so now we know.
This episode also emphasizes that, yeah.
So, in this case, Master Fu misused it.
Yep, which damaged it. And then Emily misused it, and now Mayura continues to misuse it because as far as we can tell, like, and we know Hawkmoth is misusing his Miraculous. And so there's this chance, and I would imagine because Senti monsters are so powerful, and that it is exerting a lot of power to create them, that's probably part of why Hawkmoth's not, like, messed up, or maybe that's something we can talk about later, is that maybe that's what happens. He doesn't get what he wants, but he damages his Miraculous. Well, I don't know that I don't think he's damaging the Miraculous, because, like, the Akumas always get, like, I guess, I don't know, destroyed, if that makes sense. So, like, they always, like, that power sort of gets thrown back in there.
Well, so when you think about, so we know Lucky Charm.
Yeah.
So, and we also have to remember that.
We know Lucky Charm.
Well, of course we know. Well, we know, like, and also we have to remember this isn't just an object, it's a Kwami. It's a living creature inside the object. So, we have, when Cat Noir and Ladybug use the Miraculous, when they use their power, they have so much time before they detransform, which we understand that is, they're not, like, which maybe now Ladybug won't have that problem because Master Fu said that she's a fully realized Ladybug, but that's a other point that I'll get to in a minute. But I just realized that now as I was talking.
I just remembered that too. I literally was just writing it down. Like,
wait, okay. I just so in Time Tagger, they don't need to detransform if they're adults. Maybe Marinette won't need to detransform. Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, and so on top of that, so it's not only like, they can use their power, but we also have to remember that it's the wearer and the Kwami. And so what you're talking about is that, okay, whatever stupid reason, they're real butterflies. But so they're using the power, and it drains the Miraculous. Like, I doubt Marinette could, I doubt she could, like, Lucky Charm every 5 minutes. Like, that's stupid. But, like, granted, we know.
Well, she can't, because there's a limit to, like,
they get tired, they need food.
Well, they get tired and they need food, but also, like, that was always, like, Hawkmoth's, like, that's why Hawkmoth always, like, would create Catalyst, is because he does not have the power to send out more than one Akuma, in the same way that, like Cat can't Cataclysm twice in the same, like, wearing, and Ladybug can't Lucky Charm in the same, like, twice.
So that's what I'm talking about, is that because when we're talking about the the stupid feather,
the Amok,
the Amok, and So that power is still active.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm agreeing with you. And like, I guess I'm just trying, like, I this is me talking out loud, but also like understanding.
No. I'm helping you through this.
Yeah, they're understanding that they are using their power and they're like killing the Kwame. Like it is causing so much damage to the Kwame that's what's causing this corruption.
Yes, because
it's this maintaining of power.
Yes, because the Kwame was already out there with that initial Senti monster that Master Fu. So then for Emily to go in and use the power to create another, like Adrian.
So there's two Amucks.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a good discussion. This is a lot of specifics about a show's mythology that is not specific, which is why you all are just speculating. Right. To me, that's frustrating, and I think the bigger deal is the high level. But this is so maybe. So it's like, I think April's argument is hinged on Natalie deteriorating faster than Emily did, which maybe, it's also possible. I think this episode introduces maybe Adrian isn't a Senta monster. Maybe the reason that the Peacock Miraculous is breaking is because Master Fu had it active for a whole time, and that's enough of an explanation on its own. Right. But I also think the two active at once thing, I doubt the show's going to like get into the nitty gritty about that, but maybe that it makes a certain amount of sense. But the higher level, kind of things going on here, I think are more important.
But like we are seeing like the physical effects of misusing a Miraculous.
Yeah.
This episode certainly did talk about misusing Miraculous. I think that's a great point too. And just in general, Senta Monster, once again, a huge part of this episode. We know Senta Monsters can persist for a long time. This season has dealt a lot with Senta Monsters. The reason why these theories didn't come up until recently is because just coincidentally, we didn't get the big Senta Monster episodes, with the exception of Miracular, until like this month.
I didn't even know what a Senta Monster was. What is that?
We just by chance, I think, got them all at once now. So now we're getting this theory. Senta Monsters clearly are thematically important. And so I would definitely, at the very least, expect a Senta Monster to play a part in the finale of the season, which has been very Senta Monster focused. Also, like I said, this episode fills in the gaps of everything that happened except what happened with Hawkmoth and Emily. So that's why this theory again is so appealing.
Like, do we know why they were in? Yeah. Do we know why they were there?
Well, why were they in Tibet? You know, like I think they've mentioned that briefly before, but that they could talk about that too. But you know, we're connecting the big thematic Senta Monster
and also like. That there hadn't been heroes.
That this episode also filled in like something that we kind of known for a while, which is that Ladybug and Cat are the first Ladybug and Cat in a long time, and now this makes sense combined with Master Fu's mistake. But yeah, the Adrian the Senta Monster combines the Senta Monsters being prevalent and the use of the show's current mythology with filling in the backstory of Gabriel and Emily and what Hawkmoth is going to do with his wish. I would certainly expect, if not the season 3 finale, at some point the show to fill all those in. Now I'm leaning towards the season 3 finale filling all those in. The conclusion, I think this episode reinforces Adrian as a Senta Monster for sure.
And now someone did say this in the Discord, and I'm sorry I don't remember who it was, but and I had also noticed this when it happened, was that the Amok, the Senta Monster, it was akumatized.
Yeah, so we didn't know Senta Monsters could be akumatized this episode. I think that also reinforces it because it's like, wouldn't Hawkmoth know that his son can't be, or you know, I don't know, like and in
this case, there is no Senta Monster in a person. Like, he can't akumatize an inanimate object, but he can akumatize something that's living and has emotions, and we're assuming that is sentient.
Yeah, so in terms of the Hawkmoth power, it functions the same way, which I think makes sense. So that I think, and nothing here really contradicts it. I feel like maybe the biggest thing is the only thing that could contradict is what April kind of was what I thought when she was talking about it, which is that maybe it's just broken because of Master Fu. But I think we would have talked about that if that were the case in this episode. So okay, how about by the way,
Master Fu and them don't know it's broken, correct? I can't remember.
No, I don't
think
so.
I don't think
like we know, like they know Hawkmoth has the peacock.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they I don't know how they would know because they don't
Right.
see it.
Well,
but,
they
yeah.
know that the peacock is missing, and they know that
Yeah.
Hawk Moth has the butterfly miraculous.
No, they know the peacock at this point too. Yeah, no. Well, I think Master Fu always assumed because he lost 2 of them, and so anyway,
that they were together.
A quick note on the Centimonster theory. So here's the needle addendum to the Centimonster theory, which I think is worth noting. Our patron exec producer Needle, who does not even watch the show but listens to the podcast, has come up with I think a brilliant.
He has seen like literally 2 episodes.
So the addendum is so we said and the Tumblr post people before I said that Gabriel wanted this created Adrian because they couldn't have a baby, Gabriel and Emily. What if but then that's like was Adrian like Centimonster Adrian a baby and grew up? So here's something that solves this. Adrian was a real person who was born and then died. And then in their anguish, Emily and Gabriel create a Centimonster replacement son. Basically.
That would explain why they're so protective of him.
That would, yeah.
I think that's partially explained either way. This is maybe more satisfying to filling in the gaps of the timeline, because it's also
Brandon, there's also the idea that like you don't get what you wish for. Like they were like, we want a kid, and they're like, hey, it's a 14-year-old.
Right. So I think like April said, if Adrian was just created and they did want a kid and he was just and I don't know like the right word for what he would be, but how old he was specifically, but he was not a baby. That's possible, but it's also possible that Centimonster Adrian was created after real Adrian died. But the reason this is satisfying is because Emily was alive until recently, so that like that's a big gap you have to fill in because Emily didn't die like during childbirth. Like Emily was alive until recently, and also did baby Adrian even exist? So this baby and Centimonster Adrian. So this maybe solves both of those things. I think it's like less thematically satisfying. Like it's more satisfying that they would use this power to create a replacement son versus just adopting. Like this makes more sense. Like create a new life because they can't bring their son back. Like that's more satisfying on that level. But like I think it would get pretty complicated if it's like who comes back were there going to be 2 Adrians now if they wish other Adrian back to life? What happens to this Adrian?
There's also
how
the thematic
memories, stuff like that.
Well, I think there's also the thematic that you can't reverse death, and so they found a alternative solution. And Emily isn't dead.
Yeah,
she's still alive. She's just whatever in a coma or like in stasis. And so I think that might be, that could be a theme we could be going on. The usual theme, like, oh, we have magic, but like they're dead. You don't come back. And so that could be, unless we have a necromancer miraculous, which like, let's please not do that. No.
Might as well.
So I think thematically that would be really satisfying. This like Adrian died. And so this ties into us thinking Adrian was going to die like the whole time. So that's a thing.
Yeah, I think either of them kind of does that. And of course, we have to note that we learned that the ladybug and cat combined, you can make a wish, but it has a price.
Yeah.
So it's like, can they really just use the Peacock Miraculous to bring back their son with no cost? I guess the cost is that Emily got hurt, so maybe even that has a price. Yeah, that's but the thing with
in
Adrian
this case, and now I'm beginning to think like the cost is really going to be, which we talked about this in a previous podcast, but I don't know if we really talked about it in terms of the actual wish. But I think in terms of the actual wish that that Hawkmoth, that Gabriel will have to choose between Natalie and Emily. Which we already discussed but I mean this in the literal sense of the wish.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen in some thematic sense, and maybe literally. Yeah. In conclusion, I think Adrian is a Centimonster. I think it's going to happen in the season 3 finale. I don't think we have like the specifics down. I think like we're missing something.
Yeah, like there's
we're like missing like it's
a
like
little bit, but
little piece, and then it like everything's just the puzzle.
So I'm not claiming this is 100%, but I think like this is going to happen. April, do you have any concluding Adrian is the Centimonster thoughts new to this theory today?
No,
okay.
I like, even as we continue talking about it more, I think I agree that I think it would feel more satisfying if like Gabriel and Emily did it to replace a son that died, because just I think that like theory makes me feel better versus them just being like, we couldn't have a kid, like, so we created one, and
yeah, it feels better on that angle.
Yeah.
I don't know. It like complicates the like bringing Emily back to life too. It's like, oh, they brought Adrian back to life, and now they have to bring Emily back to life. It's like there's a lot of bringing, like, you know. So I don't know.
The other thing we have to take into account too is that Emily's only been like quote unquote missing for like a year.
Yeah.
So
and we would say it would be right around the time that Ladybug and Cat Noir returned.
Yeah. So. Yes. Yeah. I think that's something also in like. I think sometimes we at least me personally, I forget that like the show like goes really quickly, but like we're in terms of like real time, like it's not going that very like
it
that.
Is not. Yeah, not that much time has passed. I think
like
this episode
it's only
reminds
been
us of
like
that.
a year or so.
It's a good point that like why are the Ladybug and Cat like in response to Hawkmoth? You know, like maybe we're missing a piece of that all coming together a year ago too. Like yeah, I think that that still hasn't fully clicked into place for me yet. But this episode got us way closer than we were before. This was a lot. So let's get back to the episode. So any feel free to bring up any Adrian Sentimonster thoughts as we go along, any additional ones, because it's always welcome. Until it happens in a few months, we'll not stop talking about it. I'm also just
thinking about how like what was it at the end of, or as we were speculating the end of season 2, we were like, Adrian's totally gonna die.
Yeah, he's dead.
And now we're like, we were right. Adrian's been dead all along.
Yeah,
this is fake
we were
Adrian.
right.
No, but to us, this is normal Adrian, right? Like this.
Well, but we were also really upset because we were like, oh, Adrian didn't die.
Yeah, that's sad. But no, he did die. It's fine.
Well, considering Thomas, like, we're either really right or really wrong.
Yeah, and again, Thomas also tweeted the link to this podcast, the previous podcast where we talked about the theory. So that's throwing people off the scent. So maybe that was his intention. That everyone's like, it can't be true.
Really right or we're really wrong.
Really wrong.
That's it.
No. Clearly, we're onto something, but he could not quite right.
Because what is it? He also like someone asked him on Twitter today.
Oh yeah,
like if and I sent it to you guys.
Well, they just asked if there's other Miraculouses now, and he's
like, oh yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
This is kind of the equivalent to what they did in She-Ra, where they were like, guys, there's a whole universe. And now we're like, there's a million more heroes, which it's great, but it's also like, oh god, we're just going to have more stupid Zag heroes, but it's fine.
Right. It could be a tie-in into like Zag stuff versus the direct future of the show, but I don't want to get into that. Okay, back to the episode. So we've talked about indirectly most things that have happened, but yeah, I think we talked about everything with Master Fu's backstory. I think that's the highlight of the episode for me in terms of like the storybook style was.
It was super cute. That was like a beautiful animation.
Yeah,
I loved that.
It was great. I love it when like I have been saying this like whenever this happens, like I love it when any show does something like this. It's like when they did it in Harry Potter, when they do it like anytime they change the animation, but it's like a book. It's like the best.
Yeah, and I think Ladybug's done this in different, slightly different ways a few different times.
I feel like this show might be like kind of like a great example of like, we've had this stupid little like, it's like Marinette and her journal, like.
Yeah,
we've had a bunch of different ones in the show, and it's always fun.
And I think changing to 2D animation is pretty effective in this 3D show. I think like it's especially effective, like considering the show style. This was really good, and we get Feast, which I think was I guess he's just the Sentimonster at this point until Hawkmoth anoints him as Feast. That's a crucial point, is that Hawkmoth gets to name him because he's important. But Hawkmoth, not Feast. But no, I think Feast is very Spirited Away, No Face inspired.
Yes.
So I really like that aspect. I got like him like devouring in the background everything. I thought I got pretty.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, you liked him eating a bunch of monks.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Okay, yeah.
Because like you said, it's very like reminiscent of Spirited Away, and I really I loved Spirited Away. So
if they make a plush, I'll buy him.
A Feast.
I would buy the.
He's blue.
He's
blue.
I would like to hear Feast's French voice. I was not the biggest fan.
Oh no!
Miraculous, hungry, miraculous.
Okay, just imagine him in Korean though.
You only made that joke because Needle made a Korean joke earlier in the Discord, but
no, it's just the thought of that, and then like There's still like Adrian in the Korean. Oh my god!
Yeah, what about adult Adrian in the Korean dub?
The Korean voice actor in Adrian is like, oh my god!
I think he's the best voice actor choice for Feast. I would advocate for that.
Yeah, I would agree. And he just sounds the same. Is it Adrian or is it a Scent Monster? I just don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah. How do all the different Adrian dubs change when he's a Scent Monster? Like, does that affect things? We'll have to get into that now. Okay, back.
That's the secret.
Yeah, they all knew the entire time.
Yeah, the whole time.
No, okay. So, and we talked about all the specifics of this, but it was also just cool seeing the order of the Miraculous and getting into the temple. And I don't know if it'd been spelled out it was Tibet specifically before. If it had, I appreciated like naming it and stuff, and seeing Master Fu was just like taken away from his family and made very Airbender and Avatar.
Yes, very Airbender.
Yeah, Master Fu is Aang. And
this is
Korra because he's old Aang, and now Marinette is Korra, and he the being the guardian is being passed on, much like being the Avatar.
If you told me 5 years ago that Miraculous Ladybug was going to be the new Legend of Korra, I would have been like,
I'm pretty sure Miraculous is the new Legend of Korra, Delaney. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think
so that means Maralia is confirmed because Korra's at the
end.
Does. Yeah. Yes.
Speaking of which,
right? It's pretty good analogy.
In this episode.
Alia is great.
Let's move to the beginning. Alia is once again pretty gung ho. I think this is she's
gung ho just describes Alia.
Yeah. She's great in this episode.
So the Louvre has a new statue carved from hardened lava found on a mountain in Tibet. Apparently, I forgot that Alex's dad is like the Louvre curator.
I did not know that at all. If I knew
if we knew it was a season 1 thing because we
it was definitely no. I don't think it was season 1. I think it might have been in. I don't know. Oh, it's been so long. But no, I remember this because like they went to his office and did
okay. I feel okay. I think you might be onto something. Yeah. Well,
it was like the Alex episode.
That original Alex episode is the original time travel one in season 1. I don't know if we got it then, but
no. It was Alex's brother. It's when her brother got
Alex's brother.
She has a brother?
I think so.
Up an episode.
I'm pretty sure it's Alex's brother, and then they had to go to his office.
I guess this explains Time Tagger why they're in the Louvre, because if Alex is with them, I guess
okay.
Well, okay. This shows a lot of details. Okay, I'm sorry.
Also, I think it's really interesting that Alia and Alex teamed up for this because they both have gotten Miraculouses before, and
they only did it so Alex could be like, oh, like a buddy, really,
yeah.
Yeah. Also, Delaney, do you know that this episode takes place before Time Tagger?
So no way! Does it really?
So Alex didn't know yet.
Yeah, that's why she made that stupid joke.
It's
I'm
stupid.
So mad because I thought it was just really funny.
You thought she was in the know? No, she was just ironic. She didn't know. She was
okay.
That's why I'm mad about it because it was stupid trolling.
It was trolling, yeah. I want to get back to this episode in order in the continuity when we get to Miss Master Fu going into hiding because I think it's difficult to pin down with that, but I'll get there. So the new Alia and Alex, Alia asked Alex to get them into unveiling. Alex, I think, a little underutilized this episode, but I'm glad she was there. So and Marinette's just gawking at Adrian, and Alia's like, we went here so I could talk about superheroes, not so you could look at Adrian. It's all about me getting to talk a bunch about superheroes.
And then she's not listening to her, and then she's actually saying everything that Marinette knows, and she's like, oh my god, what?
Marinette says, super Adrians. Heroes.
And she's like, I thought you said you weren't going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Marinette's like, I thought we talked about this, Alia. I'm Ladybug.
I appreciate that they've had this conversation.
And then Alia's
he's this has nothing to do with it. No.
First of all, we start off with
on the internet, and Marinette's like, Aah!
Well, Alia starts off with so I figured out that I figured this out. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you how I figured it out, but I figured out that Miraculouses are what's behind the superpowers. It's Alia, you're giving it away that you're one of the heroes. The reason you know this is not from your research. Yeah.
And also, Marinette knows that you know.
Yeah, but Marinette can't let her know that she knows, and she can't let anyone know. It's confusing.
It's frustrating.
This entire conversation, Marinette's like, I'm gonna set myself on fire.
Right?
Basically, Marinette's like, whatever her peppy version of that is.
She's right? Like, I'm gonna gently whack Alia on the head to knock her out, delete the video, wake her up.
It's like, it's literally on YouTube already. Why are you like having a special visit to tell Marinette if you uploaded it already? Apparently she showed all Alex it before. Anyway, it's she's like, no, I'm
about their friendship.
Yeah, I think Alia and Alex secret BFFs.
Unacceptable. No.
I mean, I love Alex.
I don't buy it.
Okay, don't buy it.
Sell.
Okay, selling that one. Alia says she's researching to help find Hawkmoth. That's her excuse. But okay, we learned about previous ladybugs and cats. Let's go through this. This is always fun. Show's done this a few times. So as we knew, the ladybug from ancient Egypt. We got that one. There's a
that is from forever ago.
From the Pharaoh in season 1. Yeah, there's a black cat knight.
That was cool.
Butterfly miraculous holder lady. I don't know who that was, but
and there's more white butterflies because apparently that's just what butterflies.
That's just a species. That's just.
I'm so mad. I am never going to be over this as long as I live. Ooh.
I'm
going to be on my deathbed. Now we're going to be like the freaking butterflies.
Is it a specific butterfly? We've discussed this, but I can't remember.
Probably it's a specific type of butterfly.
Okay.
Anyway. But unclear. But here's the big one. Hercules was a lion miraculous holder.
Apparently.
And then Alex roasts her.
Well, why not a bunny miraculous while you're at it? Yeah, lion miraculous. Hercules being a lion miraculous holder is very stupid. And very
I agree.
with the show.
I did not like it.
Like, actually did not like it, or like, oh, ladybug.
No, I did not like it at all.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was just like, oh, so you're trying to steal things, you're trying to steal, something from a different mythology? No.
Well, we previously...
it's irritating because, you know what? If they, I bought it because it was Cat and Ladybug, but then when they were like, here's this miraculous you haven't seen, I was like, no.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It is a...
if they had done the turtle one, or even Alia's, I would have been like, okay.
Yeah. If they'd done, Alia's.
But this means that we're going to see the lion miraculous, and so I'm extra irritated about it.
I remember. Yeah, I think we previously in an episode, the Lion Miraculous is coming. That's going to be fun. Joan of Arc was a ladybug. I think the previous episodes.
Yes, which I was yes.
That's also, so that's good, but Hercules being a lion is not good.
It's stupid, yes.
Okay, interesting. I won't question it, but we had a special app that shows what the statue looked like ladybug.
Okay, the thing is, okay. I'm just going to, so this is a real thing, yes. Everything, ancient Greece, and there's so many articles on this, and how it's whitewashed history, everything, it's, real. And, yes, everything was painted. But for them to show that statue, and it was black and red, was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was very stupid.
It was so stupid. Yes. I was like, this is real. I enjoy, I love stuff like this. There's video games, and I love it when we relate, historical figures to weird, stupid mythology things in shows. But this is my line, and they crossed it. This looked so dumb. I'm so mad about it. It actually might be, I don't know. It's between this and the horse vision. I don't know. They're really dumb.
That's a good call. They're similar.
It makes me really, it was just so bad. I was like, oh no.
It's very this show to be like, and here's a special app that is Ladybug. Yeah, okay.
It's like we were talking about. There's miraculous for that. It's real.
There's a miraculous.
I like the new just there being now that there's hundreds of miraculous. Is there a miraculous for blank action? I think that can be
absolutely
the new thing. Yeah. So we'll ask that a bunch of times.
Well, now they're just gonna get stupider because we have time travel. We have cool miraculouses. And I still think some of them are still a bit of a stretch, and now I'm going to be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, they're already a stretch. So
exactly.
Wait till season 5. We get the same. There's the same symbol on each of the things, and it's for the art from the Miraculous box.
I thought this was really neat.
I like that. Yeah, the symbol that we've been seeing means something, and it's on everything. It's like the sign of the guardian of the Miraculous. What? Huh?
It's the Illuminati.
It's the Illuminati? I mean, I guess the Order of the Miraculous are this world's Illuminati.
Well, really, this is the Order of the White Lotus, so.
Yeah, back to Avatar, of course. Yeah,
Everything goes back to Avatar. Everything.
I mean, Order of the White Lotus is already Illuminati. Okay, and Natalie drops her iPad, unfortunately, and
that was like dramatic. Like, I was like, oh.
It's really dramatic. I guess Gabriel's rich, so it's fine. But was it an iPad or was it a Google tablet? No, let's discuss that.
It was an iPad.
It was Android.
Okay, wow, some disagreement here. Let's debate. No, just kidding. So there's the what
if you've gotten this far in the podcast, please reply.
Please tell us if it was Google
is
or
it an iPad
Apple.
or Android?
Yeah, okay. And then we talked about the video she published. Marinette goes to Master Fu and shows her Alia's video, and then they're basically just chilling watching YouTube together.
Marinette being like, I made a mistake. I should have given this to Alia. I was like, oh,
sad,
hurts.
Sad. Kind of true.
I mean, you're not wrong. Well, granted, it was great when Master Fu was like, she's a great reporter.
Yeah.
She would have figured this.
Yeah.
Also, literally, a child could have figured this out because a child literally did figure it out. Like, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
but
the thing is,
still can't figure out that Marinette is Ladybug.
Why did you say that out loud? We all know this.
That's true. Okay, we're back to that in a second. But I don't know. Well, yeah, just the fact that Alia like figures all this out. Whenever stuff like this in fantasy shows happens, where there's like something on top of our world that's like hidden and no one really knows about it, it just seems unbelievable to me. I'm like, really? Like, no one understands that there's like these superpower things out there. Like, there's so many people. Alia's just the one piecing this together. I don't know. There's a little bit of suspension.
To be fair, well, I mean, as ridiculous as it is, I do think they set it up well because there haven't been superheroes for like 200 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
The literal only box has been in Paris. So Paris
I guess it would be someone here.
Yeah, and now Paris is the only one with superheroes. So like this, I mean, it's stupid, but it makes sense in the show.
They've done stuff to try to justify.
They tried, which I think is. Considering other shows don't try.
Other shows don't try, yeah. That's
they tried, and I'm like, I buy it.
Okay, that's good.
As much as there's
but it's just like, why do the people of this world accept that Paris has random superheroes and no one else has superheroes, and we don't look into it more anyway?
Yeah. But granted, I'm also fine with it because it's Alia. Like Alia's like Hermione. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, exactly. We're cool with it. Is Alia the Genora of this show? I guess so.
Oh yeah, that's why we love her. Duh.
Yeah, duh. Then we get Master Fu's backstory. We get, after that, Master Fu's like, I'm gonna take your Miraculouses, and then they're later shocked when he does.
I know, and it's like, that was the whole part. It's like, thank you for everything, Marinette's okay. And then, like, oh my god. Also, oh my god, I know he had to send Waze, but like, man, Waze is like, I'm a bad person.
Yeah, Waze was feeling guilty. Before that, we had Adrian and playing
Adrian and Plog are in bed.
The piano together. Cute. No, they're playing the piano together.
Well, yes. I just wanted to talk about it. Yes.
The big Adrian and Plog bromance episode.
It was so sweet. I've spent so much of my life hating Plog, and yet here we are.
Wow. Plog's the best. Noted.
Okay, he's not the best. Roll back with it.
He's fine.
It was super cute though. Like it's like stupid that he can play the piano, but like
it's very stupid.
But it was super cute to watch.
Yeah.
It was cute. Natalie is at the Louvre and frees the Sentimonster and then threatens to kill it. Hawkmoth says, "Oh, the feeling of the frustration of a miraculous just out of your grasp."
Okay, we talk about.
My god!
I know that feeling of hunger all too well.
Like, shut up, Hawkmoth. But also, like, can we talk about this? Gabriel has been legitimately concerned this entire time for Natalie, and he's like, "Don't use it," and then he's like,
"This episode," he says, "Just go use it." Yeah, he's too tempted by the feast. Yeah. This was not the best look for Gabriel in terms of his concern for Natalie. Yeah.
No.
He still is concerned.
He's still concerned.
Also, these children have gotten way too good at, like, running out of their house. Also, Marinette literally just went downstairs.
Yeah, but okay, we're back on. We're still on this. Also, in terms of Hawkmoth with Feast, he says, Feast, you need to give me the Ladybug and Cat Miraculouses, but after I use them, I'll give you those, plus I have all of them. So, like, sure, he could just be lying to Feast, but I kind of believe that he really
I
only
believe
wants
it.
them
Like,
for
I
just,
100.
he just wants everything for the wish and is
That's
not
it.
power hungry beyond that, which I think is a big reason why the show's shifted to Gabriel being pretty sympathetic. He really just wants them to
Well,
for this
yeah.
one wish.
And this is just we knew this, like, kind of, but, like, this is confirmation that, like, once this is done, it's done.
It's done,
Yeah.
which is why he might not be the villain of the show.
Which is why I have to set up Lila being the most evil
Yeah.
person on, because I can see this. Like, let's say that Hawkmoth succeeds, and he gets his wish, and Emily comes back, and he's like, "Okay, I'm done." And then Lila's like, "What? No!"
Yeah.
That's true. Lila had been talking with him, and then yeah. I mean, Lila need to find it somehow, but yeah. I mean, the biggest reason that Lila would take over is just because no one else is being set up. Like, it's her.
Right.
Like,
But she's gonna have to, like, I feel like she's gonna have to steal, like, a Miraculous in order for that to happen, because
yeah,
like,
she has to get it. I don't know how she
Which
gets
I
it.
can
But
see.
Yeah.
Honestly, a big conflict in this show could be Lila not becoming the Papillon, but becoming Mayura.
that's what we originally thought, that Lila
Yeah.
would be the new mayor.
But
And
then
now I'm a
also,
little.
but then this conflict could be that Ladybug, like, eventually they're going to find out that it's broken.
It would be really cool if they got the Papillon Miraculous back, and it was like we saw how it was used for good.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I think it'd be a really interesting character struggle. It'd make me so mad the whole time. But with Marinette, she hates Lila, and Lila's not a good person, but the Miraculous would be slowly
And
killing.
it's killing her too now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, so we'll see to what extent.
But also,
Lila-
let's not literally kill a child, please. Okay.
Well, I
already
mean,
did it. We killed
they killed Adrian, so he's
Yeah,
dead.
true.
This is fake Adrian.
He's
Okay,
dead.
so yeah, Waze takes their Miraculouses. Master Fu's like biking with them. Oh wait, I forgot.
What about the magic paper?
Why is it magic?
Because it disappears.
Oh yeah, because
It disappears.
as-
Okay, I don't know how that works. But before Hawkmoth says, "It's dinner time, Feast," and I like that the only thing that happens is he just gets bigger. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
literally, and I'm like, really stupid.
Okay. Hawkmoth sees Master Fu, and he's like, "Oh, that's the Guardian," and he says to Nali, "We shall relish in the taste of triumph, my dear Mayura." My dear Mayura. I thought that was notable.
Aw, so sweet.
I guess. And okay, here's that. Now let's bring back Marinette and Adrian. Marinette comes out in a like a riding bodysuit and a helmet, and Adrian is in a
she's
banana
smart.
costume.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on a scooter.
Okay, so the obvious talking point here is that they should not recognize each other as Ladybug and Cat when they don't have the magic of the Miraculouses obscuring their identity. There's no reason they can't identify each other as Adrian and Marinette in this moment.
I agree. But if we want to go based off of obviously this is stupid.
We've talked about this before. When they've been detransformed, like, and the wall has separated them, they should be able to recognize their voices.
Right.
I would say, like, the schema of Ladybug and Cat in their heads is what's psychologically preventing them from seeing it in this moment.
Yes.
But this is pretty frustrating.
Granted, I do buy the whole, like, only Ladybug and Cat Noir would be crazy enough to blah 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 blah.
Right, so they are like, oh, this is Ladybug and Cat behavior. So
Which I do, as stupid as it is. I'm such a sucker for this, like, trope, though, that, they're heroes without it. Like, I love that.
Like civilian heroes. In this moment.
I love it. And so I really, I love stuff like that. And so I did enjoy it, as stupid as it is. But granted, I'm so used to this being so dumb that it's fine.
This seemed normal, right? Like, there's the biggest sign Ladybug is so nuts is when something happens and it's like, oh yeah, sure. Like Cat's in a banana costume. I mean, that seems ridiculous, but this is the fact that they're disguised in these things. But yeah, I do like this concept too. I think it was maybe a little underplayed by the episode. There's too much going on, but I think this is a strong concept for them seeing.
Also, it was nice to see it more with Adrian because we do get it quite a bit with Marinette.
Yeah, you see her real life more, I guess.
And also Marinette does a lot of legwork even when she's not Ladybug. Like, she will figure stuff out and she will go and.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but seeing Adrian as a banana noir,
that was funny. It was stupid but funny.
Oh wow, I thought you'd be negative about that. Okay, we get a bunch of people to help out, including Roger. A big week for Roger, and we get and then Master Fu turns around and he lures Feast and gives them the Miraculouses. We talked about him trying to transform. We get the Lucky Charm for the metal detector, which was, I think, one of the most practical Lucky Charms ever. Surprise.
It might be the most practical.
Is that a direct use? We didn't need Ladybug Vision. Yeah. We get, Kat says, "Hurry, milady. This thing already swallowed my stick whole." No comment.
Yep.
Ladybug ties
really,
herself.
April, really?
Thank you, April. Ladybug ties herself to Kat.
And he's like, "Is this really the time?"
Kat says, "You sure it's the right time, milady?" No comment.
Comment.
But this show. This is the cute moment is Ladybug tying them together. It's like, oh yeah, and then Ladybug had great faces during this as people have been posting screenshots, smirking a bunch. I guess she's liking it. Being maybe she does have feelings for Kat. She's enjoying being tied up with him. I feel like she's enjoying tying him up more, like taking I think she just enjoys
she just makes him do whatever she wants.
Yeah, like commanding him around. Yeah, I think she likes that. I think that checks out, and because but
she is so competent, and he is so incompetent.
Yeah,
he's very competent this episode. He gets that banana costume. He's going on the scooter. He does get his.
He didn't mess anything up, is what you're saying.
He gets his stick eaten. That's it, but that's understandable.
It happens to the.
It happens. Sometimes you get your stick eaten, but so then they go inside the what? Huh? They go inside.
God, I hate it.
Feast eats them, and Cat. Wow, it's bigger on the inside.
Yay, Doctor Who!
That's right, it is.
Yeah, thank you. Even in France, we can make Doctor Who references,
Good.
They find the staff, and then they cataclysm it, and Feast explodes. It was a living thing. This was, I don't know. I mean,
can we stop killing Senta monsters? Like, jeez.
Because Senta monsters are really icky. Like the concept of making life that's so easily killed like this, and by Feast was not as bad clearly as the Buggette, but
but
it's
still
a little unpleasant at exploding.
Because and that's the thing. When we fight villains, they're people, and then.
They go back to being people.
And this is
it's pretty screwed up that we take away people's agency and make them forget about stuff, but it gets reversed at the end.
It gets reversed.
This is shockingly permanent, and I think the show knows that and is playing with that, which is really interesting. Yeah. Which is why I think they did something
they're doing it on purpose.
Is this supposed to air before
Ladybug?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Much before. Yeah. So I think it would have made even more sense for
this was kind of the
monster in that episode.
Obviously, it doesn't make any sense because whatever the order of the show, but it would make more sense to be. It would have
set up Buggette a little bit more.
Yeah, because you have this monster, and some people
it's the monster died. I guess that felt kind of bad, but it wasn't. You don't think that much of it, and then it's wow, you realize the full consequences of what happens with the Peacock Miraculous. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that works better in that order. She devilizes the Akuma and the Amok at the same time. I guess that you can do that. Hawkmoth. No! That's impossible!
What do you mean that's impossible? Is it?
Yeah.
It just happened. Idiot.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Please explain further.
What's impossible in this show?
I just want them to insert that same. I want them to use that like a transformation sequence. Can he just always react like that? No, that's impossible. You could use it at any moment.
Use it over and over again.
Yeah. God.
That was his Darth Vader no moment.
No, what's impossible is that you.
But he had one of those already.
14-year-old kids.
Yeah, what is impossible? Natalie's even more sick now. That's fun.
Nice.
Yeah, so as one does in the show. The temple's back, the monks are back. Master Fu's talking about his mistake has been undone. He's free of the burden of his past. And someday he'll go and return them. Marinette's training is complete. She's a full-fledged ladybug, which that was a great point earlier because we learned in Time Tagger that being a full-fledged superhero means you don't have to detransform or you can use the power as many times as you want. So that may be a big deal in season 4.
But they're not on a timer.
Yeah, not unlike this timer.
Which that kind of makes sense, I think. This is just a random thought about, when she gives them Miraculouses and she wants them back, like, it's a temporary measure. Like, all of them are meant to be that way.
Yeah. I guess that does go along with them having a timer, yeah.
And then but, she's an actual superhero now.
But now, which I don't understand the difference in the
I don't
power,
either.
but
like, I don't.
Maybe they'll explain it. I don't know. Maybe they'll explain it at some point. We got the thing with the carrying boxes. Okay, yeah. So this is the last discussion point. So Master Wu's moving out. He's wearing a fake mustache over his mustache,
which is like, what the heck?
And because Hawkmoth's going to know who he is now, and he says he's not going anywhere. Hawkmoth's defeated. So. In retrospect, in the episode Party Crasher, he's like wearing a disguise and just shows up somewhere. So like that episode is post him. So now at this point in the season, he's not in his apartment. He is just on the lam. So he's going to show up in random places now, I guess. But I'm just waiting for him to be like,
he's just going to appear out of a stall and be like he's like selling soup or something. And he's like, hey guys. And it's like, what the heck?
He's the new Andre.
Also, does this mean that like she's not going to get the gong and stuff anymore? By the way, when that happens, I never remember what's going on. Like every time, literally, legitimately, every time, like there's been a teapot, and I'm like, what? And then she's like, I gotta go, and then I'm like, oh, it's Master Fu. Like I never figure it out. Like it doesn't matter.
That's true. She can't get the teapot anymore because he's not living anywhere. That's a good point.
I meant more because she's fully realized.
Oh, because she doesn't need shit. But I think past this episode she gives away Miraculouses. We can fact check that. Maybe. Yeah,
for the record, whenever this happens, I never understand what's going on.
Party Crasher. She gives Kim, I think, the Miraculous. Yeah. What's confusing about this is in Ladybug, Hawkmoth says. So Natalie says you need my help to find the Guardian, and Hawkmoth says, I'm not so sure I need that anymore. But in this episode, he's very excited about knowing who Master Fu is.
Right.
So I don't understand how he got to that.
Well, it could still be that like they know he's looking for him. Now he actually knows what he looks like, but since he's in hiding, he's trying to find him again. So like now he knows he's in Paris and he knows what he looks like, but he still can't find him.
I guess maybe he already knows, so he doesn't need Natalie. Maybe something happens in between this, or maybe he's changed his mind based on new information that he's gotten or something.
Right.
Yes.
This is confusing to me. I think this to me is like the most confusing thing plot-wise with the episodes airing out of order. But I think it might have been confusing anyway.
Well, I guess it makes, because I'm like one of my first questions was like, okay, where is this episode supposed to be like in the grand scheme of things? But now I'm even more confused because this is like an earlier episode and the other one is later. So
and I think we focus a little too much on that because, as Thomas said, none of them are meant to be super sequential. I mean, clearly some things happen before each other, but he wants them all to mostly make sense on their own.
Yeah.
I think probably this discrepancy will be explained by the season finale, I would assume.
Hopefully.
Okay. But I mean, his reaction at this point is going to be, and he says, the line of the episode at the end, I have not digested my defeat, Ladybug. It simply honed my appetite all the more. But now that I know what the Guardian looks like, I intend to put that knowledge to use and prepare a dish of revenge, especially for you, and it shall be served very cold.
Like, why?
Interesting.
This is
one of his longest, most dramatic monologues.
Hawkmoth, and I hate him.
My voice is hurting from doing that.
He always makes some stupid pun, and this time it's like for like a solid minute, and I'm like, shut up.
He thought the fight was going to go on for much longer, and that he would get to use more of these food puns.
He had all these puns written down with Natalie.
So because Natalie is hanging out there, and he's worked so hard on these puns, he had to get them all out. So that's why we've got digested, appetite, like prepare
Clearly,
a dish.
best served cold. Yeah, revenge. Yeah, that's like the grand magnum opus of his food puns. Yeah.
He's like, I had all of these food puns. He's like, they weren't necessarily appropriate for kung food.
Oh no! Yeah,
did you just mention that part? What? That episode didn't happen.
He had them saved up.
Yeah, he had them all saved up.
But he specifically says, "I intend to put that knowledge to use of the Guardian," and then later he says, "I don't." So we'll see. But
yeah.
Yeah, April, there are also a lot of shots of Hawkmoth and Natalie together. Like, I feel like the most shots ever we've seen of them. Just,
I felt like this episode was very, not just Hawkmoth and, Myra, but, Natalie and Gabriel, kind of heavy. You know what I mean? Just a lot of moments of them together, which...
Is there any chance Natalie survives the finale?
No, I don't think so.
It's gonna be really sad, right? We're gonna be much more sad if Emily didn't come back to life, and she died permanently, versus Natalie. That would be devastating. Also, I feel like we're gonna be more sad Natalie dying than Master Fu.
Yeah.
Right? Is that a hot take? I feel like that's pretty
no,
easy
that's not
call.
a hot take.
I care a lot more about Natalie.
I was thinking about this too. I was just like, man, I really hope nothing bad permanently happens to Natalie, because I really enjoy her. Also, it's going to be really hard for Gabriel to fill that position, I feel. All
right.
Well,
I post a job listing for it?
Well, he will put a job... Okay, I have things that I want to say about it, but I can't because...
What?
Because what? Why?
Because I don't like talking about work, so...
Are you saying you'd be perfect for that position?
No.
You're saying? Okay.
I mean,
I think you would, though. I think if anyone, you're the most prepared for the Natalie replacement in the entire
I would
world.
agree, yes.
Yes. I think
your notes for the podcast are great preparation.
You're in love with Hawkmoth.
You're in love with Hawkmoth.
You're literally the perfect replacement.
He's going to be like, April, put on this damaged peacock miraculous. And I'm going to be like, that's not going to happen. You put on the damaged peacock.
No, April, you're going to be like, oh my god, yes.
You would definitely do it, though.
Look, I'm not saying that I would rock that Myra outfit, but I would rock that Myra outfit.
We just discovered all of her fan fiction.
I know, right? April as Myra. Who rocks the Peacock Miraculous more? Little Master Fu or April, hypothetically, as Myra? Obviously.
Okay, he would straight up kill Master Fu. He would die in 30 seconds.
No, when he was younger, he put on the Peacock to...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was like, he cracked his back.
Not now.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. So April's getting her resume together to replace Natalie in season 4.
Look, I have no experience as an executive assistant, so I think I've got a real shot.
Well, I don't even see Master Fu dying. It's really gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be like Yoda, basically.
He might ride off into the sunset.
He's gonna become one with the Miraculous or something.
How do Miraculouses get made? Because I think Master Fu should become a Miraculous.
Oh my god, yes.
Somehow
we've
arrived at the most ridiculous concept.
No, Dylan. We have come full circle back to our
You're saying Master Fu's gonna shrink down into an animal thing and
listen, we have come. No, Dylan, what you're not understanding is that we have come full circle to the beginning of our Ladybug coverage when Tiki is the creepiest creature alive. She's actually a person.
Okay, so we're saying all the Kwamis are former humans who became
like the face of Bo. This is what happened.
The face of I'm surprised we actually haven't speculated this before. It's taken until April's random thought at the end of this podcast to get us to. It's a valid. I assume it's not correct, but it's valid to think it at least.
And Plog was a jazz musician who really liked cats.
Right, the Kwamis could just be former Guardians. They really could.
True.
They could. Which would explain...
I mean, obviously, it's the Kwamis are this world's gods. So who created them in the first place? If they, but whatever. This is.
How? Because that would explain how we got the Miraculouses, and then also explain why Master Fu has lived for so long.
How would that explain?
Because he's going to become a...
So the process has already started or something?
It's
the process an extended process?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if that really explains it as confidently as you asserted, but I think I like the confidence. But I mean, could you really be that? I feel like
Well,
we're
it's
all
kind of
just
like the past lives. Like maybe they the miraculous holders become like part of the miraculous.
So what you're saying is that the end of the season 3, Hawkmoth's going to kill all the Kwamis and
Oh
take
my
away the
gosh.
past lives.
Oh,
to
God.
No, Natalie will do
No.
it.
Anyway, so Natalie should be a miraculous, is what we're saying. I feel like she should be a Kwami. That she'd be a much better Kwami than Master Fu. Those are the people that. Could
Well,
die.
the
Anyway,
thing is, Master Fu as a Kwami would just be Ways. So like,
That's
yeah, he basically is Ways. Yeah, maybe at that point you start to like become one with your Kwami.
like,
oh
you
God,
start to
Marinette
take
can't be. No, I'm out of it
Marinette's
now.
Tiki.
Nope, I'm done.
No.
Goodbye. Okay. Thanks for listening,
Okay.
guys.
Yeah, that's it. Delaney, what are your final thoughts?
I really like this episode, and I think, okay, I'm going to put it in my top 10. Our discussion has changed
Yeah,
my mind.
convinced. Okay.
There's some
I think
great
it's a crowded
character
top 10
moments.
if you put this and yesterday in the top 10.
It's okay. Key notes. So plot movement and Alia. These are the key things that make,
That's true. These are 2 big Alia episodes. So
Yeah.
yeah.
and it substantially improves the quality of these episodes.
That Alia is there. Okay, so
Yeah.
Delaney's in. April, final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm more high on this episode after talking about it with you guys. So
That's good. Yeah, it is definitely a good episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode for sure. So, and I think even like the weak points aren't super duper weak. So, like in the grand scheme of things, it's a good episode.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure if it's top 10 yet for me. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't put it in the top 10, but I do think it's good.
Yeah.
And
Like maybe top 15.
This season's been very solid. Season 3, if you're looking at Ladybug as like as we have 6 episodes of the season left. The season's been very solid. I don't know if there have been like super high highs. Like I think Backorder's the best. People love Oblivio. Like those are very good episodes. But you know, I don't know. It's harder for Ladybug to have like a huge standout episode. Maybe the finale. So we'll see. But let us know what you thought of Feast. Forgot about the name for a second. How could I forget Feast?
How?
Our Discord is popping with Feast discussion at overlyanimated.com/Discord. Comment on YouTube if you're watching there, youtube.com/overlyanimated or overlyanimated.com. That if you've listened this far, you probably are not my intended audience, but stop asking about Ikari Gozen. It is coming Friday.
Woo!
Yes, no Delaney, but
Rip.
Yeah, rip.
Aw.
But we'll be discussing Ikari Zozen finally because it will be airing on TV in Canada tomorrow. So look out for that late Friday night. It'll be out for the weekends, and then after that, we have no scheduled airings of Ladybug. Like I said, there'll be 5 episodes after that. 2 of them are the finale, so.
And we will get them next year.
It
know.
is very possible we get the last 5 episodes this year. This calendar.
Okay.
Very possible.
Joke.
Do you think that we'll get them before December?
Before
All 5 of them will
that
be
is
in
actually
December.
that is actually what happened last year. I believe the finale aired at the end of November.
That's right, and because I remember us being like, "Oh yeah, we're never."
But then,
gonna
like,
get...
Chameleon randomly aired in December. So, like, the first episode of this season did air last year. But yeah, they did air before. Yeah, they aired faster than we thought last year. So we'll see.
And we're supposedly getting season 5 by 2020 fall.
Yes, it's
God.
seasons 4 and 5 coming
Woo!
fall 2020. That
Oh,
means
God.
nothing. Okay, so I do think we might have a little bit of a gap before 4.
This
so
literally
let's
just
see.
means we're not going to get another episode. Like, after this season, we're not going to get another episode until, like, June. And they're going to get, like, 12 all at once.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I think so. I think that's what that means. But yeah, so savor this season while it's still here, and that would involve there being more episodes after this. So we'll see. But
Yeah.
we were happy we got these. We got a lot in a row here, and we'll have more Ikari Gozen coming. Even though I know most of you have seen that episode already.
I haven't, so
I have no idea.
None of us have seen it. I've also not seen it, so will be fresh for us. So we'll talk about it later. So check all that overlyanimated.com. I already gave the plugs for that Discord Patreon, patreon.com/overlyanimated to support us. Thanks to our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, John, and thanks to our patron executive producers Ryan Seabox, features Hugh, Michael, and Needle. Yep, a lot of Ladybug happening. Also, other shows including Final Space coverage, Fruits Basket coverage. Find all that at overlyanimated.com. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
bye.